And we're back for the television talk show Issues here in Columbus, and we're dealing with Mr. Sykes and Mr. Swift here from the Point City area, Clay County, West Point area, and we're dealing with prison reform. Mr. Sykes, again, you dealing in receiving 30 years. When the judge, or the DA, should I say, gave you those 30 years, what went through your mind at the time?
Well, my whole life, I realized the whole way half of my life. I realized the time, the age I was, and by the time I do 30 years of age, I'll be going to come home. And you know, and I thought to myself, was it all worth it, you know? And I went all the way back to where I started from a young youth. Got in trouble the first time right here in Columbus. And it started there, the boys' home. You know, you just start young, and I'm saying that to say to the young people.
The youth,
do not start. Then you have to worry about finishing it. Right. You know?
So what are some of the things you experienced while you were in jail to really just let the youth and the people know that this is no place for no one?
Well, I made a promise to myself I would try to do everything I can to help, because during the time I was there, I seen so many guys that revolving doors. They coming in 3 or 4 times before I get out one time on all kind of different charges. And say, for instance, the guy that supposed to have got me on the charge that I'm on probably went to prison 10 times.
Wow.
And the probably says to me doing this one sentence. And probably floating around somewhere in the system now is just the fact of it is, I think I'm not the racist guy, but I think most of us look like the racial motivated to me.
I mean, it's okay to say that, you know, Caucasians get less time than African Americans.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. There's no secret. It's nothing hidden. It's out in your face.
Right. And so I see some young people just never come get it. I talk to a lot of young guys in the system, and I try to reach some out here now. But you know, it's so much touching you can talk to people out here now. So
right. They're so iffy, and you try to educate them without upsetting them or insulting them.
Exactly. You know, sometimes, you know, it gets kind of difficult and get rough for everybody. But, you know, and I'm just blessed to be here to say that I made it through, and I know a lot of guys that I did time with. I
was about to say, you probably seen some that died, stabbed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so many different things.
So many different things goes on in here, and you put a guy that's not violent with people. Everybody want to.
Got life, yes,
And some people get it started and all kind of stuff, you know, and don't deserve it, because if the judge signed off on some little non-violent crime that being, you know, committed, I mean, true enough, when you break the law, you must pay.
Right.
Well, I know that. But
so let me ask you this. Being that you say you got caught with a small amount of drugs, were you doing drugs at the time, or you just was selling drugs?
I was doing drugs at the time.
So pretty much, you pretty much got caught with probably something that you were doing, taking the drug yourself.
To take care of my habit.
To take care of your habit.
To be honest with you. And it's worked like this. And that system they had set up for us coming in there, if you didn't cooperate with them, they send you out there and want you to get other people.
Right.
And then I didn't
go
with that.
Right.
And
you
that's
wanted to
why I
snitch.
wound up with the 30 years. Exactly.
Right.
So they offer me less if I go buy from somebody.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. Get something to get my family at jeopardy or me at jeopardy.
Right.
Send me out here to bust these people.
Right.
You know, you just can't do that. You have to think about it.
Right.
And in certain cases, in West Point, we had that happen.
Right.
So, you know.
Right.
Retaliation.
Yeah, it's understood that those things like that take place, and it really it's a part of a game. It's almost like it's a game to them when something takes place. But I understand they try to get information, but they use you to use another to get what they need.
Right. You're almost in situations where it's that, you know,
you darn if you do, you darn if you don't.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, a whole lot come with that. And the best way to do that is not get caught up in that situation.
Right.
I know that now, but I can see the picture
at that time. Yes.
I wish I knew what I knew now, and I try to share my knowledge with younger people. You know, I think that's what I was probably
guided you in that situation. So, Mr. Swift, if they wanted to be a part of this organization or help sponsor or provide some knowledge or get some help from you, how can they find you? How can they follow you?
You can get me through Facebook, Anthony Swift, or you can give me a call at 662-361-0185. You can get me by email, swiftanthony663 at yahoo.com. I want to reiterate a little bit on what he was talking about as far as when people get in trouble back in the day, even now, but especially back in the day, that was the number one thing law enforcement officials did. They come to you with a deal. I was offered the same deal. It's just about everybody else who got caught up, and it's something. It's really a trap for you,
Right.
Because I've seen people who cooperate with the police, and after everybody get prosecuted,
They
send
still-
you straight on down there where the people at.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was in the Clay County Jail awaiting trial on my charges, I was called downstairs to talk to the director of Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics. I got arrested in a roundup where it was, I think, about 75 of us, all African American men. Yep. And at that time, you know, when they called me down there, I was wondering what they were wanting. I was trying to get out on bond, and I thought that's what it was, but they were calling me down there. And when I talked to the man, the black agent who was responsible for the investigation of everybody, when he introduced me to the man and told me who he was, and I was like, okay, you know, what's this all about? And they told me that they wanted me to help them in their investigation because some of the people who were arrested, they didn't have real strong charges against
Right,
them.
right.
And if I would cooperate with them, it would help me out on my sentence.
Right.
So, me being the person I am, I told myself, well, no, I don't, you know, I couldn't help you.
So
with that.
were you guilty by association, or you was just guilty because you was doing wrong at the time?
I was guilty.
Okay.
I was guilty. And when he offered me the deal, I told him, I said, well, no, I wouldn't feel comfortable going getting those guys because I know them. But, you know, I could help him with some white guys, you know. They
But he
wouldn't
didn't want to
that.
do that.
No, he told him to take me back to his cell.
We'll be back in just a moment after these commercial breaks to close out this interview with Mr. Sykes and Mr. Swift, talking about prison reform and how the justice system is as a whole, and the experience of you being a Caucasian or you being an African American dealing with the judicial system. More to come here with Issues Television Talk Show. We'll be back for the Television Talk Show, Issues.